Hello everyone and welcome to another Timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at a Soulsisters deck in Timeless format. So here's another Mockingbird deck that you guys been waiting for. I'm sure you guys are thrilled to see another Mockingbird deck in this channel. And this time around, we're going to be copying Ajani's Pridemates or Voice of the Blessed and giving them flying, which should be really good versus other creature decks. Besides the Mockingbird, you also have the Guide of Souls. Even if you don't have Mockingbird, to make Ajani's Pridemate into a flying creature, you could just give the Ajani's Pridemate with a lot of counters, give it flying. So we got two different ways of making the Ajani's Pridemate fly, which makes Ajani's Pridemate into a real threat without having to worry about getting it chump blocked. And since we are gaining a lot of life, we're gonna use that life back onto the One Ring. So once we run out of gas, we can deploy the One Ring, and then we can also draw a bunch of cards again and refuel back our hand. And lastly, this deck is actually pretty good against Omnitels even in game 1. So we have 4 copies of Ranger Captive Bios. After applying a bunch of pressures, you can buy another turn with the Ranger Captive Bios. But besides that, we are also playing 4 copies of Witch's Enchanter as our land base. Even without the Ranger Captive Bios, you might be able to actually catch them off guard, especially if they don't have Born Upon a Wind in their hand. And when they show and tell, you put a Witch Enchanter on the battlefield, and that'll get rid of opponent's omniscience. So having said that, I'm gonna be hopping over to some Timeless Best of 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop over. I'm gonna keep it because opponent doesn't have a companion, which might mean that this Witch's Enchanter could get some value if it's a show and tell deck. Nope, it's a grief deck. Then this is also very good because we have a bunch of One Rings. So they have to get rid of that, but they also have to have removal spells for... Wow. What? Okay. Psychic Frog. We already have enough lands. We just needed creatures this turn. The best card we could have drawn was one of the 2 drops. Either a Pridemate or Voice of the Blessed. My opponent probably has like a Drown or something. Or perhaps a Bowmaster. Tainted Indulgence. So they're playing a pure Reanimator deck. I should have actually cracked the Ranger Captain Bios. I don't know. What if they don't have the Reanimate? It's like a Schrodinger's Reanimate. I guess if they mill a Reanimate here, I'll probably crack it. Huh? Why didn't it let me crack the Ranger Captain Bios? When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a non-creature non-land card from among the milled cards this way into your hand. I'm guessing like you can't actually respond to opponent getting a card from the Philology Archaeologist. Is that what it is? They also have Bitter Triumphs. These are pretty bad cards for me. This looks like a go next situation. Yeah, seems like a go next situation here. Yeah, honestly, I mean, we missed turn 2, which is probably why we're even on the spot. We can get a Solitude. Or Source the Plowshare. Let me see if I can bait out something. And things are sticking. Things are sticking. They're probably gonna play their Harvester here. Good thing we have a resolved One Ring, so we can just recuperate. I only made that play is because they had a Demonic Tutor. They Demonic Tutor for something, and I don't know what. So I was just assuming it would be a counter spell, you know? They went for another Aatroxa. They have a double Fatal Push. Yeah, look, they have a Mana Drain there. So I'm gonna guess that they actually do have a Mana Drain at the moment in hand. We have a Solitude. The problem is they have a Reanimate and a Aatroxa again. I don't think I'm gonna be needing this anytime soon this game. I think I'd rather have these. Okay, that is perfect. So now I could even go a Guide of Souls. Attack. Okay, so for some reason I thought we had 3 energy. I don't know why. I needed to play the sword in. Oh my god. It's okay. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. That was not good. We just lost 3 cars for free. They have another grief, so they can grief again. And they found another reanimate. What is this Aatroxa? Every Aatroxa they played, they've hit exactly 1 reanimate. Oh, they didn't get an Aatroxa though. I feel like that's might be a little bit of a mistake. Okay, we gotta find another swords. Obviously, this wouldn't have happened if I just played the sword in and attacked. That wouldn't have actually worked either. They just had a fatal push there, but definitely would have made them work a little bit more, you know? Harvest for a Misery main deck. Definitely pretty good. Also, we ran out of lands. Hmm. Okay, we found a Solitude. Kind of want them to counter that. They finally counter that. I'm going to, which is Enchanter, get rid of the Aatroxa there for the third time. Actually, which one should I copy? Oh no, I can't copy I can't grab a land with these special lands because I drew all my lands. So I can't, there's no more lands anymore. So if I copy the Sword in, also the Pride makes 2 tokens. I'll gain 8 life. If I copy the Ocelot Pride, it's the same outcome, right? Yeah, I think we actually copy the Sword in. Okay, we did it! I don't know how we won through 3 copies of Aatroxa reanimating, but yep, there it is, there it is. Oh no, my opponent surrendered. Come back! No! No 1-drops. If I make the opponent put the 1-drop for me, like I can copy it, but... yeah. Man, the One Ring was actually really good last game. Because this deck gains so much life, just resolving One Ring, like 1 copy of One Ring, gets the job done all the way through, which is pretty cool. Double Witch's Enchanter. If this is, what is it called? Omnitel. And they don't have Born Upon a Wind. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. But we do need a creature, so let's keep drawing some creatures here. Yeah, it does seem like they're playing just an Omnitoll, right? Yep. Does seem like it. They could be looking for a land if they did this. Definitely seems like they're looking for a land here. Also, my opponent shocked us in. Let's hope they don't have a fourth land. Mockingbird. Not really. What I really wanted to get was Ranger Captain Bios. That's a bad sign. They play the land first. Dig through time, which is gonna miss. Ah, they have it. Okay, so Lavinias and Archons. We just need to draw either of these. All of these are really good. Swords, we don't need. Even Solitude, like, do we really want a Solitude? Like, let's say they get a Troxodon, like, who cares? We have so much life. We can grow our creatures bigger. We'll have 2 copies of Solitude, but that's about it. Okay, we have a really good cards. Lavinia Archon. Lavinia Archon. I think I'm just gonna run out another Ocelot Pride. Play the Marsh Flats. Assemble the team. Mockingbird? Short. Let's say they put down an Aatroxa. Do we win the game? We do. They go to 19. We have 20 power. Yeah, so... And we have 20 creatures. 21 creatures. So they can only go up to 19 life here. Well, GG's opponent. So we go to game 3. What do you think? Is Solitude... I mean, Solitude... I don't know. I think our sideboard was fine. Okay, we have a Lavinia this time. Which one's first, though? Surely it's Guide of Souls first, right? Still Guide of Souls first. Oh my god. I was gonna go Voice of the Blessed, but it changed. Already? Pretty annoying. That is a really bad Aatroxa. Only 3 cards? Also, this Aatroxa really doesn't do anything. We're gonna grow our Voice of the Blessed to be indestructible, and they're not gonna be able to block. Oh, Archon. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's Voice of the Blessed first. And then we go Ocelot Pride next. That was a very aggressive Dark Ritual into Show and Tell. In case we draw 1 ring. Abrupt Decay. That's actually pretty good. I feel like I should save this for next turn if I don't get a creature. I'm not even sure if they can win if I just keep playing creature per turn. And we're just going to one-shot them sooner or later, you know? We need to draw something good, though. We can't keep relying on this 1 copy of Guide of Souls. I'm pretty sure opponent's list actually only plays 2 copies of removal spell, which are Abrupt Decay. Okay, opponent surrenders. I don't think the game was over yet, but I guess they didn't have a removal spell, and if we multiply 1 more time, they're probably dead, right? Because the Ocelot Pride becomes exponential. Sworden into Ajani's Pridemate. The classic. The classic. Hey. What are you doing? my Soul Warden. Okay, game, I need you to give me exactly Guide Up Souls into one of our creatures here.
I will prove my worth to my pride.
Okay, that's not bad. I probably need to get rid of that Ajani with the Solitude. Discharge. Into a Goblin Bombardment. Pretty bad. This is pretty bad, right? I need to get rid of that Goblin Bombardment, but I also have to play this Witch's Enchanter. How much loyalty does a Johnny have? 3? Goblin Bombardment, huh? Okay, nice. Worked out. It didn't work out. And we go to next game. They had a pretty amazing start. Double removals, a Johnny with the Goblin Bombardment, into a Raptor. Then they got an Orcish Bowmaster out of it. Sun Cleansers. Get rid of a Johnny's Pridemates. I don't think I need One Ring this matchup. It's not a matchup where you're gonna want One Ring. The game's gonna be over before that. Do I want an Unlicensed Hearse for something like... Or should I get a Pitting Needle? A Johnny's Planeswalker side or the Goblin Bombardment? Probably for the better. We'll try this out. Okay, this one looks really good. Oh my god, that is so good. I think I'm actually going to copy a Sun Cleanser. This is a Bowmaster, so... I guess I could have still attacked with Sun Cleanser. Just trying to be careful, you know? They have another one? It's kind of crazy. Oh my god. Okay. What a difference when we have a Sun Cleanser. What a difference. Do we want Unlicensed Hearse? Actually, didn't my opponent have a Loris at the start? What happened? Am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills? I think I just want one copy of Unlicensed Hearse. We don't want too much. Man, this deck is sick when it pops off. Like with the Mockingbirds and stuff. It's really good. I think I'm actually gonna go down on a copy of a Soul Warden. Because of Orcish Bowmaster loops. Oh man, would have been really good if one of these EOS were lands instead. Okay, that's really feels bad. Yeah, feels bad here. I think I'm still gonna keep this, regardless. I don't want to mulligan too much in a 22 land deck, you know? Especially going second and all. Why did it skip? It skipped my second opponent's second main phase instantly without me clicking anything. That is so bad. Can I please get a land? Pretty please. Yeah, this token should not be on the battlefield, honestly. What a disaster. What a disaster. They must have a fatal push. Or not. How did they gain? Oh, because they fired off another galvanic discharge. Hmm. Maybe I should have actually fired off the source here.
Nothing can break our bond.
Pretty good. Love to have a non-game, you know, as the game 3. You love to see it. Love that. You got me. You know, I actually may have been kind of sideboarding it wrong by sideboarding out the One Rings. Because if I'm bringing something like a Wrath of the Skies against energy decks, wouldn't I just want One Rings, right? So I think I'm making a bit of a mistake here. I'm just gonna source now. Phyrexian Tower. I think I'm just gonna go Sword in first. Just too good. Ajani.
To the hunt!
Really? You're gonna transform now?
isn't over until I've bloodied my
Can I get a land?
More
Yeah, can I get a
join our
land?
cause!
Nice. Land was really good.
Into the fray.
Ranger Captain of BO3. Okay, that's fine. Johnny's dead.
They do not respect me.
It's kind of brave of them to play a village right in a Orcish Bowmaster format. Like, sure, it looks great here, but it's gonna look pretty bad elsewhere, you know? So I should probably spend this because it's going to make it indestructible. Okay, Wrath of the Skies. So I have a different sideboard plan this time. Because the last one is just not working. Cut 3 of Johnny's Pridemate. I'm not gonna cut the one ring this time. I guess I can go -2 Soul Warden and a copy of a Ranger Captain Bios like this. It's okay. Like, it can work. But definitely not a Sun Cleanser for sure. I think I just wanna play the Surveil land. Do I want more lands? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just want more lands actually. Because of my hand. My hand is like pretty beefy with things like Ranger Captain Bios and Solitude. That's something I could copy. Copying the Amped Raptors, like, kind of a tough one, you know? I could get very punished. Yeah, maybe this was actually a mulligan. Because I don't have things like Guide of Souls or Soul Warden. It's like pretty bad, you know?
For a beautiful day, brother.
I do give them also the pride value, but not much you can do. Unless they attack. Okay, so we're just gonna trade. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, we still have a 1 ring, so hoping we get there somehow. Swords. I should have probably put it on the Amped Raptor, so I give them like less life. Come on, 1 ring, 1 ring off the top. 1 ring off the top. Okay, that's pretty bad. I mean, 1 ring's still good, so I'll take 1 ring. I don't think Wrath of the Skies does anything at this point. They still have too many creatures. Man, what a disaster. Did this actually accomplish anything? It didn't, right? They actually lost power? Oh, man. Okay, come on. 1 ring, Ranger Captain Bios. So they didn't play that last turn. They went for Chthonian Nightmare instead. Think we might have lost the game. Okay, there's that 1 ring. Swords. Gotta put the swords on the Giganta. Oh man, what a game. They plussed?
Our souls burn as one.
Ooh. We don't want to see lands, right? We don't want to see lands. Okay, Goblin Bombardment. A little bit scary.
More join our cause.
They take the damage, right? 3, 4, 5. And I live. They've already used Ajani. Oh no, I'm exactly dead. I messed up. I messed up. Okay, so I do this. Opponent, what are you doing? Okay. They lost Ajani. Oh man, this is a big throw by opponent. Oh my god.
I have failed you, brother.
Oh my god. Opponent missed a trigger and just like that. No way. Are we actually gonna win? Oh my god. Okay, so I have played some games with this deck today, and I made some changes. Initially, I actually didn't have Wrath of the Skies, but I've decided to put it in after losing to Energy a few times. I've actually changed my sideboard plan versus Energy as well. Towards the end, initially I wanted to take out some of the One Rings versus on Energy matchups, but because we also have a Wrath of the Skies now, usually you're going to be on the receiving end because they're just going to propagate like way too fast. And that's where just spamming the One Ring comes in, and we spam the One Ring a bunch of times, and then we get Wrath of the Skies, and you just eventually win the game. Obviously, the Sun Cleanser is going to be amazing versus them. We're playing 3 copies of it, so what you want to do is you bring in 3 copies of Sun Cleansers and 2 copies of Wrath of the Skies, and you might want to just go down on some copies of Soul Warden, depending on the matchups. Like if it's a Mardu, definitely go down on some Soul Wardens because they're going to have Orcish Bowmasters, right? And you can also go down on some copies of Ajani's Pridemates and maybe a copy of a Ranger Captain of Bios. So that's what I would do if I were to play again with this deck. Was this deck any good? I think it was actually pretty decent. Definitely not a tier 1 deck by any means, but against a show and tell especially, I think this deck is very good. We have a main deck Ranger Captain Bios and main deck 4 copies of Witch's Enchanter. So if they don't expect drop down an Witch's Enchanter, they might actually just lose, and that would be game 1. Usually, Omnitel decks really want to win game 1 because you're gonna bring in so many hate cards. We have 3 copies of Archon of Bemeria and 2 copies of Lavinia. So winning game 1, like especially like let's say you have a Ranger Captain Bios, they show and tell, you pop this thing, and then you Witch Enchanter, right? That's also an option, or you can Ranger Captain Bios. If you have enough pressure with the Also Pride, you could go Captain, Mockingbird, copy the Ranger Captain Bios, pop the Ranger Captain Bios on opponent's turn, upkeep, do that again until you win the game. So we got a little bit of very good main board Omnitel hate, which is kind of a good deck in Timeless format. Ajani's Pridemate, it looks a little bit weird playing Ajani's Pridemate in Timeless, but just because it's actually not that bad, especially coupled with the Guide of Souls. The fact that this can give you flying is actually pretty sick. Ajani's Pridemate can just become, you know, another 4 copies of Voice of the Blessed if you pair it up with the Guide of Souls. So it's actually really cool. You could even copy this with a Mockingbird. You'll have a flying Ajani's Pridemate. One thing I have actually noticed playing this version of the deck, Soul Warden, sometimes Soul Warden and Guide of Souls alone is not enough to sustain Voice of the Blessed or Ajani's Pridemate. Mockingbird is supposed to be something that can just copy a Guide of Souls or a Soul Warden, but Sometimes if they just have removal spell every single turn, top decking a Mockingbird can be a little bit of an issue. It's not bad versus an energy deck because they also play Guide of Souls as well, so you can just copy the Guide of Souls. But sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to. And we also saw a game where One Ring actually just was literally the nuts. Because, like, just think about this being a creature deck, you deploy a lot of cards, and then you gain a lot of life, but what does that life mean actually in a lot of the situations? Like, a lot of the times in a life gain deck, it really means nothing. In this deck, you can use that life buffer that you get at the start with Bunch of Swordens and the Guide of Souls, and then you use that back on the One Ring. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, that is another Mockingbird deck that we played today. I know you guys are probably bored of seeing all these Mockingbird decks, but I mean, what can I say? Mockingbird is a really, really good card. So with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.